All right, guys. All right. So we are live. I just wanted to hop on here real quick just to talk about the importance and the ability to leverage your credit so you can invest it into real estate. So you guys know that I do talk about real estate. I talk about businesses. I talk about e-commerce and things like that. But I just wanted to hop on here and talk about how you can leverage your credit to invest in real estate. And I'm going to give you a play that you guys can do on your own, speaking from a personal experience. So let me just give it a couple minutes here. Let me get used to this thing right here. Okay. And then we'll get started here. Let's see. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Whoever comes in, they come in, and whoever's watching replay, just make sure that you put it in the comments. So here is how you can leverage credit to invest in real estate, right? So the first thing you need to do, obviously, you need to have some business funding. And how you do that is you either create an LLC or you can go the sole prop route, and then you get some business funding. But you want to specifically target 0% interest business credit cards, right? Like a Chase Inc. Unlimited or something like that. And you want to target specifically you want to target specifically 0% interest business credit cards because you're paying zero interest. It's an interest-free loan. And the payment on a 20, 30,000, 15, whatever the amount is, it's 1% of the line of credit. So if it's a $20,000 credit card at 0%, the monthly payment is only $200. If it's 30,000, the monthly payment is only $300, right? So you got the business funding that you need. Then you want to strategically, you want to liquidate that credit card or credit cards. You want to liquidate $20,000, $30,000, and then you want to deposit that into your personal checking account. Okay, you want to deposit that into your personal checking account, and then you want to let it season. You want to let it season for at least 30 to 60. If you want to at least 60 days, right? If you're a little nervous, you can let it season for 90 days. The reason you want to let it season for a minimum of 60 days, if you want 90 days, is so when you apply for an FHA loan, and the reason you want to apply with the FHA loan is because they have certain requirements that really benefit if you're strategic and you're like investor minded. Is number one, FHA, lower credit scores. Number two, FHA, you can get qualified up to a quad, right, with an FHA loan. Number three, you can get up to 6% of seller credits that can cover closing costs. So that helps a ton, right? So you're you're out of pocket minimally, but we're going to be out of pocket zero using this method I'm talking about. So you apply for that FHA loan, right? But you want to do it. You only want to inquire about quads, triplexes, and duplexes because the debt service has to be paid back. So you have to be able to pay back that debt that you borrow. And that's why you have to strategically do 0% interest because you want to limit that. This stupid flies in here. You want to lower your monthly you want to lower your monthly debt as much as possible in the beginning because you have to pay that back, right? So you have a debt service. You're borrowing 20, 30,000 at 0% interest. You have a monthly payment. So you're going to invest that into a quadplex, triplex, or duplex. Now the benefit is, since you let it season there for 60 days, the underwriters are not going to question where that money came from. If you applied if you deposited 20, 30,000 while you were going through the underwriting process, they will question it. They will literally ask you, how did you get 30,000? How did you get 20,000? They're going to question you up and down. So that's why you have to let it season for at least 60 days because they're going to be looking to see where that money came from. But if it's already been there, they're not going to question it, because typically they're going to go through all your bank statements, tax returns, and things like that. And another benefit of an FHA loan is that you can get gifted money for the down payment as well. All right. But in this strategy, we're going to get the money ourselves through business credit cards at 0% interest, right? We're going to liquidate those cards. We're going to deposit them into the checking account. We're going to wait a little bit, 60 days, 60 to 90 days. Then we're going to apply for FHA loan. Now, the numbers have to make sense, right? You just can't apply. You can't be trying to invest into everything. All the numbers, especially with this high interest rate environment, it has to all make sense, right? You have to do the math. So the unit one is going to pay for the mortgage, because you still have to pay for the mortgage. Unit two will pay back the debt service, whatever amount you use to make for that down payment. So if it's 10,000 or 12,000 or 20,000, whatever that amount is, it has to be enough to cover that. All right. So in my case, I had a duplex that I purchased a couple years back. I deposited around 10 to 12,000. Using a 0% interest Chase business credit card, right? Then one unit was paying the mortgage, the other unit was paying the debt, right? After that debt was paid, I was positive cash flow ever since then. Now, what happened in the process was that the equity grew. And I decided to sell because I was out of state. It was hard to manage, and I made a significant amount because I had so much built-in equity. Now, what I'm planning to do is reinvest that right back into a quad or triplex again, but the numbers have to make sense, and I'm going to run the same play. I don't necessarily need the business credit card because I have the money from the sale of the house, but I would be able to run the same play, deposit it into my bank account, and use that as the down payment for my FHA loan, 3.5%. And I like FHA because it's 3.5% down. That makes a huge difference as opposed to 20%, 10%. That's a lot. That's a lot of money you have to put down. So I like the 3.5% down. And because I sold that, I still qualified for. It's been over, I think, 3 years. So I qualify for another FHA loan under that program. So it's just a great program. You guys should definitely utilize that, and you can use business credit to fund that down payment. Have one tenant pay that debt, have the other tenant pay the mortgage as you're going through paying that debt service. So that's essentially what I did, and now I'm going to reinvest that into another property using the same tactics. I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to use a business credit card because I have the money for the down payment. But if I were, I can do the same play, right? But again, the numbers have to make sense. It has to cover that debt service. But you have to strategically use it at 0%, so you have a low monthly payment and you're only paying the principal of that debt. Does that make sense? So I see a couple people in the chat. Guys, let me know if you have any questions before I hop off. Let me know in the chat if you guys have any questions. Let me see something here. How do I? Let me know if you guys have any questions. I can't even see the chat. Where's the chat? But I just wanted to give you guys some free game things that work for me, and you guys can use that same FHA play to get some property. And there's another strategy that you guys can use to buy the properties outright with some credit cards and business lines of credit and things like that. This is pretty cool. Let me see. Oh, press the wrong button there. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. If you guys don't have any questions, I'll end this stream. I just wanted to hop on real quick, try this new streaming software. Pretty cool. All right, you guys have that's my time. My name's Toby Rosario. Peace.